Okay guys, it is Hunter x Hunter manga chapter 379 review, but before I get to chapter 379, there's something that we need to take a look at in 378. Now this lady right here, this girl, this dame right here is Marina Prude, level 45. And last review I already explained illegitimate daughter stuff and families and whatever. That's bad. Now we explained who she was. Now I said her name, Marina Prude, and I said her level 45, and that's important for two reasons. And we're going to see it going forward because they represent something very important. Now, the first thing that they represent is the family that she's associated with, the Haley family that has to do with Prince Seriendik. That's the first thing, and you'll see why all this is important going forward. Now, the second thing to take note of is that she is level 45. So let's go ahead and explain her ability, because this is going to be very important for how we analyze this chapter. So let's go. Okay guys, so let's take a look at her ability. Her ability's name is Etude of Love, or Etude of Love. I really don't care. But it's Etude of Love. It says bacterial contamination. Now I'm beginning to think that this is a specialist ability, because I would have thought conjurer or manipulator. That's my first initial thought, but let's look at it. It says bacterial contamination, but if it's a conjurer's ability, it would only be that she conjures the actual bacteria that she is injecting into their bodies. And I don't think it's a manipulator ability, because if it's supposed to be a manipulator, then the individual people wouldn't have that much control over themselves. Or, that's one point, or, and it could be and as well, but I'm going to use or, whenever she puts the bacteria in them, exactly what is she manipulating? You know what I'm saying? So for a few reasons, I don't think it would be a manipulator ability. But let's take a look at what it says. It says through Marina, member zeros. Now that's very important. Member zeros, her saliva. More members are created, up to a maximum of 23 people. And she has 23 people, by the way, guys, including herself. And she says when a member kills someone, they level up, increasing their aura capacity and power. So we're going to say aura, isn't it? That's probably not accurate right now, but as we go forward, you're going to get more information. It says once they pass level 20, this is very important, their individual unique power will manifest once reaching level 100. That member can also become member 0, capable of creating their own clan. But Marina right here is level 45. She's not yet at level 100. And point of note, she also said that if you kill a prince, you get 50 points, so you get to level 50, you get 50 levels. Funny enough, for all us gamers out there, I don't know if the increments between levels is the same. So I don't know if you kill 2 princes, you get to level 100, because you know you need like 10 experience points to grow a level, and that goes for all levels. I don't know. But this is important, because what it's basically saying is that you get stronger by fighting, by killing. And something very important happens down here. Take a look at that. This is almost like lesbian porn on my screen. I never realized it. Look how romantic they're kissing. Alright, let's get back to the manga. It says regular people are worth 1 level, and men users are worth 10, and if you kill a prince, it's 50. So here's the thing, guys. The guy from, yes, so we're going to 79 now. Manga chapter 79. The guy, Moonface. I'm going to call him now. That's, what could I call him? The Moonface guy, he is above level 20. For one reason is because he has an individual unique power that started to manifest. And he said something about wanted to kill exactly 20 people, and that's why he went to the 20th. But the fact of the matter is that the reason why he wanted to kill 20 people is because he just wanted to get his unique individual power. That's my speculation. But there's a question that's going to be asked that might throw this off. But the idea is that he wanted to get to that level, so he killed 20 people. That's the first thing. Now the other woman whose name, why don't I know this woman's name? She's the witness. The witness, she's not at level 20 as yet. And there's also something that's very important. You have to wish to have that, you have to wish to get your ability in order to get it. But she's not yet at level 20. He killed 20 regular people. right? So he's at the minimum of level 20. Now he wants to fight the troop. I'm just going to go ahead and say, if we kill a member of the troop, we're like 40 points. That's me, 40, 50, 60, 70, because there's some really scary guys in the troop. And we're going to get to Franklin later, guys. So he's at level 20 at the very least. Now we're going to go into his ability, because his ability is going to have a whole lot to do with what happened in the last chapter, where, you know, he killed someone and disappeared. What the witness is saying is that, okay, I was in the bathroom, I was taking a dump, whatever, and apparently this guy came up to the door. Big whoop, right? And there was a knock on the door. I didn't know, because outside the bathroom there's another room, obviously. So outside the bathroom, there was someone. He knocked on the door. Someone from the room outside the bathroom went open the door, and when the door opened, the person fell. She heard the sound of someone falling. She assumed it was the person that opened the door fell, and, you know, she was calling out for the person. Never got a reply. Yada yada yada. Whatever. We all can read, and it's on screen. Big whoop. But here's the thing, guys. He did all this on purpose. Okay? He did all of this on purpose. And the reason is that while I was reading, it kind of reminded me of Hisoka. Now, Hisoka is very fun, because Hisoka likes to hunt. He likes to tease his prey. So even when he was fighting Gun, he was taking all those hits from Gun as free hits. He could have fought Gun. He could have beaten Gun a lot earlier. But instead, he wanted to, you know, feel pain. He wanted to enjoy the fight. That's his way of enjoying the fight. This guy's way of enjoying the hunt is by seeing if he can be caught. But here's the thing, guys. Like, I don't see him as that much of a threat, because his ability is powerful because it's so stupid. It's stupid, guys. Let's take a look at it. So there are restrictions as far as his ability goes. His ability needs a room with one door, and it's closed. So that's two conditions. It has to be a room with only one door. Door has to be closed, and there has to be walls everywhere else. That means it's like you're pretty much trapped, essentially, once the door is closed. And that's the requirement to activate his ability. But those are pretty convenient abilities, somewhat, you know. Those are kind of easy to accomplish. But here's what it gets a bit more attractive. It gets a bit more interesting, because, you know, the more restrictions you place on your ability, the stronger your ability gets. It says that once he activates it, he can open a door in walls or floors of that room, and travel to another location. It's much like the Nen Beast of one of those princes, where a door opens and it could lead to anywhere after she goes through the wormhole. Yeah. But this one is a little bit more scary, because he says he can return to his original room at any time, but if the door of the original room is open, that means if the door of the room he's trying to go back to is open, then his ability is cancelled and he can't go back. It's reset and he can't go there. Okay? So once you open the door, that room is out of bounds. Well, once he's trying to go back there and it's open. Although, come to think of it, I'm a little bit confused, because it says that if the door to the original room is open and thus it ceases to be a locked room, his ability is reset. Now, it says that he can travel between rooms at any time, right? But is it possible that the moment you open the door to a room that he's been into, he can't go back to that room? Isn't that a stupid ability? It would have been better if, when he's trying to use his ability, if the room doors open, then he can't go back, right? I mean, that seems a little bit more helpful. That seems a little bit more useful as an ability. But if that's the case, then what he did with the spiders, and this is pretty interesting, because I'm thinking it's the ability where once he opens the door to the room that he's been into, he can't go back there. I'm gonna think that's the actual restriction here. And that's why he hasn't left the ship, guys. But if that's the case, then that would mean that the reason why he went into the storeroom where the warehouse, he went into the warehouse where the mafia was, is to cause confusion. Because he can't go back. They're going to open the door to that room again. And remember that you brought in the guy all blooded and everything. There are conditions, which is what Finks was saying. He's saying that there are conditions for manipulators with respect to space. And it's something that has been happening a bit. I mean, Kurapika spoke about this a bit. But he's saying that there are conditions that you need to be at the actual place in order to revisit. Right now, here's why it's tricky, guys. Because if that's the condition, guys, if that's the condition, he can rob the entire mafia without them knowing. And that's what's scary, right? That's what's scary. He can rob the entire mafia without them knowing. And here's another thing that makes things really interesting. He can't go back. I don't think he can go back. I think this is all just a ruse to trick everyone. So I don't think he can go back there. But because he's playing games, you're going to put in useless moves at places to trick your opponent. And I think that's what he's doing. Something else to take note of is that I'm pretty certain that this is tricky to say, guys, but I don't think this alliance thing is gonna work. I said it would have worked last week. I said it would have happened, but I think it's gonna happen, but it's not gonna be successful because you can't take out the spiders by betrayal. It just doesn't work like that, and that's what these guys are trying to do. So apparently this guy, so we got the introduction of two mafia bosses. I mean, this guy on screen is one of them. I think this guy's stupid. Yeah, he's stupid because he wants to go in a head-on fight with the Troupe. I mean, you just don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, Croppy can never do that. You just don't do that. Alright, don't do it. But he wants to go into a head-on fight with the Troupe. And here's his reason why. He was probing them when he was asking his questions. Now, admittedly, he does know the answer for most of the questions he was asking. And what he was doing really is not per se the answer that he wanted, it was just the answer that he wanted to observe. What that means is that he didn't really want to get information as much as he wanted to see how they answered his questions, because that would tell him a lot about them. And basically he's saying that, you know what, these guys are pretty open, they don't care if it's enemy or ally, they just say what they want to say. So with respect to these guys, the whole idea of balance, that's bullshit. You know what, let's throw that out. These guys aren't going to fit into the system. And remember, it's their ship, guys. It's a mafia ship, and they're kind of want to have top dog spot in this place. They want to have their own thing going on. So someone who can visibly defy them because they're so powerful, they can do it, and just because they have the desire to do it, they will do it. That's what scared these guys, right? So I think that the idea of having a Troupe around is something that scares them. And like I said, they were going to get Hisoka to work with them. They're going to get the spiders to work with them, try to help them to fight each other, and hopefully get rid of both parties in this squabble via stabbing in the back. But I don't think that's going to work because the Troupe is too smart, you know. Perhaps I'm praising the Troupe too much this chapter, but you know, it's given, right? I was hoping I would see Illumi and Kaluto working together because, you know, for the past 2 weeks we've had people working together. I was hoping to see that double, but now maybe next week, maybe we'll see Hisoka in a few weeks, but yeah. And it's similar story with Franklin. I do like that when Franklin spoke, he was interesting that, you know what, that guy got killed, it wasn't us. Unless, you know, he keeps throwing in these lines that basically backs up every possible possibility. That doesn't even make sense. He keeps throwing in these lines that backs up every possibility of something happening. And that's a cautious talker for you guys. He speaks cautiously. He doesn't use words out of turn. So everything that he says is important. And he keeps saying that, you know what, we have business with Hisoka. Until we kill Hisoka, we don't care too much about what's happening here. We are not going to steal anything, because it was straightforward. It was that, yes, we have other business here. We are thieves after all. And then tension was rising. You could see the looks on guys' faces because they're like, oh shit, they're going to rob us. And then he's like, but until we kill Hisoka, we don't really care about your stuff. So we're not going to rob you just yet. So I like the connection between the Troupe. They trust each other. I think that's very important going forward because they're up against Hisoka, very rejuvenated, re-zombified, sinister, devilish Hisoka at his prime or more. And I think they're going to need every help they can get, simply because it's Hisoka, guys. Not that Hisoka can beat them all by himself, but because of how he fights. You know, I think he's very crafty in the way he fights. He uses the environment to his advantage quite splendidly. And given that Crawler killed him because of the environment, you know, where they fought and when, I don't think that, you know, he's going to just like, woo, go in and get killed. I've been talking for a while though, but basically guys, this chapter has been very important because it's going to be setting up a whole lot of things for the next 2 or 3 chapters. It's more of a transitional chapter because it's showing the agreement that the spiders are getting to with the mafia bosses. I mean, considering that we have so many hiatuses, I think it would have been nice to just skip this chapter all over. But the more we talk about it, we get to realize that information given here is important. Something to note, guys, back when the Chimera Ant arc started, and that arc was like 70 plus episodes. I didn't read the manga for that. I think that we started up pretty slow like this, right? There was a lot of dialogue, there was a lot of setting up, and everything comes back, guys. Everything that's happening is going to come back. It's going to be important going forward, and that's just how Togashi rolls. That's why I love his work, because it keeps you thinking, it keeps your attention, it keeps you focused, and until you do that, you're never going to understand. You're going to miss the true beauty of what's happening. So I love that for Togashi. Good job. I hope we don't get another hiatus in the next few weeks. Thank you guys for watching. I'll leave your comments down in the comment section below. I'm going to make a very interesting video, guys, so subscribe for that. It's going to be a very interesting video. It's going to be about the manga. It's going to be about something that's going to happen and something that's kind of been happening. It's more of a theory / discussion video. So subscribe for that. It'll be out in like a week or so. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. See you soon.